DBN is Nigeria's only wholesale lending development finance institution. Our mandate is threefold. 1, to provide catalytic finance to micro, small, medium enterprises. 2, provide capacity building to these MSMEs as well. And 3, to provide partial credit guarantees.
Strengthening support for SMEs is a strategic priority for the Brazilian Development Bank, which acts as an important instrument of the federal government in implementing public policies for this segment. BNDES supports SMEs in the following ways: providing indirect credit by our financial agents, providing guarantees, designing a startup acceleration program to foster innovation, and also providing capital through investments in venture capital and credit funds. The main objective was to discuss instruments and policies to scale up and expedite climate finance to emerging markets by creating mechanisms that allow capital flows to move towards sustainable investments to these regions. Leverage on the clean energy matrix and substantial natural resources that Brazil has, for instance, would help developing nations to comply with their NDCs on one hand, while also promoting growth locally on the other. In this context, some of the conclusions of the COP are fundamental to mobilize high-level dialogue that recognize the importance of making financial flows consistent with a path towards low GHG emissions and the Paris Agreement's goals while providing economic development for all. SMEs are fundamental to promote innovation and sustainable development. They are among the greatest employers in most economies and lack access to financing at competitive terms and equity investments. Non-financial support in terms of awareness and capacity building programs are as important as financial instruments if you want SMEs to advance on their sustainability journey.
We have, on a global and a local scale, things that were achieved. Let's start on the global. We saw, for the first time ever, the Loss and Damage Fund. To date, that has raised about $720 million. And this is not just pledges. This money is money that is good to go almost immediately. Super exciting. And we saw this right from day one. We also saw the Green Climate Adaptation Fund also giving a real big kick to get going. So we see that on a global scale, there are quite a few things that have occurred. We also, though, have seen that discussions are still ongoing in terms of the whole fossil fuel conversation.
The negotiators also agreed on commitments to triple renewables capacity and double energy efficiency by 2030, and made significant progress in relation to adaptation and finance, including the operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund, even though financial commitments are very limited so far. Therefore, the need for adequate financing, clarity in energy transition policies and targets, and the inclusion of social and humanitarian aspects are key to ensuring that climate goals are not only ambitious, but also actable and effective.
We saw Nigeria and Germany sign a presidential agreement on the implementation of a power initiative, in addition to having conversations with a multitude of stakeholders on things like carbon markets as well as electric vehicles. So fantastic takeaways. So COP this year was extra special for the Development Bank team because we actually won the Arab Gulf Fund competition. So we applied for this at COP28 and we won. We came out first in the entire globe. So we were there to, first of all, receive the prize Alongside our core team, we had our CEO as well as our chairman and a member of the World Bank who had led the DBN project. Now, apart from that, we also, it was important for us to also show up to increase conversations around partnerships. So, of course, the plan is to continuously expand. And with some of the great plans we have as an organization, it was important that we met and continue to meet counterparts who could make this dream happen for us.